I am going to show you now a pattern from Carpatina dolls. It is for a historical Chinese outfit called hanfu and with a variation for a Japanese kimono. The pattern is multi-sized. That means that it comes in 18-inch slim dolls and an 18-inch American Girl size dolls. The slim dolls, which are Carpatina brand, by the way, this is Anna Ming, a doll from Carpatina. They have about 9.5-inch waist circumference. And the American Girl are larger dolls. This actually is a Gods dolls, which is similar with American Girl. They have about 10.5, 11-inch in waist circumference. So they're larger than the Carpatina. We will be referring them as slim dolls and American Girl dolls. Let's see what the cover has on the back. On the back of the cover, there are a list of fabrics and a list of notions included, so everything required to make these outfits, and sketches for the hanfu and for the Japanese. Pretty nice sketches back there. Also has some information about the company, their website, carpatina.com, carpatina-dolls.com, and a phone number if you have questions about making this pattern. Inside, we have a double-sided sheet printed with the sewing instructions. On the front cover, we have general directions for the layout of the pattern pieces. That's how you lay them out on your fabric. Also have the two beautiful sketches, and then we have sewing instructions with a photograph for each one of them to make it very clear and very easy to follow. There are some general directions for cutting, such as pre-shrink the fabrics and iron them before you start cutting them, especially if they're cotton. Such a small scale, when you sew on such a small scale, if the fabric shrinks even 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, will make a big difference on your final dress. Again, directions about placing the pattern, follow the grain line, which is marked on each piece of the fabric. There's also some overall sewing instructions about how to gather how to finish the edges, how to clip the curves for each one of the pattern when you stitch. Like you always clip, let's say, in the underarm. That way it will lay flat and will look much better. All those instructions are included. That was for the hanfu. For the kimono, hanfu actually has two parts, has a skirt and has a jacket. And then the Japanese kimono is just the kimono robe, but it has the obi sash. The obi sash has its own instructions, and that is a essential part. I believe this is a butterfly obi sash that it's used for this variation. Some history of the Chinese hanfu, some history of the Japanese kimono, just to give you of an idea about know a little bit more about these costumes that you will be sewing for your dolls. And the inside we find also a pattern for the skirt. The skirt is the one that goes with the hanfu jacket. So pattern for this. It's kind of large, so they probably put it on a separate piece of paper. And then another very large sheet. this large sheet of paper has the remaining components for this pattern. Each component is marked as slim size or AG size, or some of them are for both AG and slim. The slim is the Carpatina doll. We have one here. This is Olivia. Olivia is a Carpatina doll. She has a whole vinyl body, and the slim Carpatina dolls have a 9.5-inch waist circumference, whereas American Girl have a 10.5 to 11-inch circumference. So they're larger. They're larger dolls. Each component is marked, so when you decide which size for which doll you want to sew, you just use those components. If it says for both AG and slim, so you will need this pattern piece. Doesn't matter for which doll you are going to make it. The slim size, the Carpatina, you can use it also for dolls like Kids and Cats. Stardust Classics have the same body size. Magic Attic dolls have the same body size as Carpatina. Even A Girl for All Times have the same torso size as Carpatina. They have shorter legs though, because they're 16-inch tall. So every pattern that you will be making from Carpatina to fit the A Girl for All Times, you will have to shorten basically the skirt for that doll. As for the larger size, the AG size, you will fit American Girl, it will fit GOTS, any GOTS dolls. It will fit Maple Leah, which is a Canadian doll, and it will fit the brands Our Generation and Journey Girl from Target, and I'm not sure where the other one is from. In any case, this is the pattern. Each pattern includes a stitch allowance or seam allowance of 1/4 inch. It is marked with a dotted line on each one of the components. So you cut on the other line, you pin to the fabric, and you cut your fabric, and then you actually stitch along this line, 1/4 inch inside the cutting line. That is included in the pattern. Seems to be very detailed, definitely nice. This is a historical Chinese outfit, which would be pretty nice to have for your doll collection or to make one. I certainly like it. And the Japanese kimono also is really nice. You can even make something more modern out of that. It has a variation for the sleeve inside, actually. I forgot to mention that. I saw that. There's a pointy one, there's a flat one. So it's a variation for the sleeve. There's a lot of little twists and turns inside for this pattern. And lastly, I'm going to mention that Carpatina patterns, you can find them at the website carpatinadolls.com. Actually, there is a carpatina.com, and the second website is carpatina-dolls.com. It's designated only to the dolls. I believe carpatina.com company offers clothing for big people as well. And they also have a phone number in the back. You will find a large variety of patterns at their website. A lot of historical ones. We have medieval, Italian Renaissance, English Renaissance, Tudor, Marie Antoinette, American Civil War, and then Empire. And we also have a lot of international ones. Beside these, we have a Russian sarafan, we have Korean costumes, and many others. Beside the patterns for the girls, Carpatina manufactures patterns for 18-inch boy dolls. They also have Carpatina has a line of their own 18-inch slim body boy dolls. And the patterns, just as the girl patterns, also come multi-size for the slim Carpatina dolls, boy dolls, and for the American Girl boy dolls. And I have seen again some Renaissance patterns. I have seen a colonial boy doll pattern, a really nice coat and a tricorn hat, and many others, suits, tailcoats, anything you can imagine. Just visit their website or search the internet, Carpatina patterns. You will find them on the Carpatina website. You'll find them on Etsy, Carpatina store, on eBay, or on Amazon, anywhere you prefer. Carpatina patterns. And lastly, they also manufacture line of textiles. Textiles are fabrics, historical fabrics, scaled down to create historically accurate costumes for the dolls. So you buy the pattern, and then you can buy actually a textile that is historical, but is recreated at the scale to fit, to make a costume for your doll that will actually look historically accurate. I have seen a pomegranate redesigning of a pomegranate fabric that you can make an Elizabethan ball gown to die for. So the pomegranate is scaled down, it looks perfect. Or a Jacobean print, that looks great. So that's some of my favorites. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this. I'm gonna try to present a few more patterns in the future, but this is one I tried and I enjoyed. Hopefully you will do as well.